back to Spirited Outdoors. I'm gonna do a little bit of cooking this afternoon. I've got 2 wild pigs. Buddy of mine, or actually my cousin, Ivan Alford, showed up, he called me the other night. He said, "You want some wild pigs?" He said, "We got a bunch of them in a trap I gotta go get." I said, "Man, yeah." So he come by here, had a truck bed full of them. He said, "Get what you want." Fortunately and unfortunately, I had just went and stocked our freezers full of beef. Didn't really have a lot of room for a lot. It was kind of late, but I did get me 2 pigs out of the back of the truck, skinned them, processed them, and good eating size. One was probably about 40 pounds, and then I got one that was about 70, maybe 100 pounds. And so I'm fixing to smoke one of these pigs. So I'm gonna split up my wood. The reason I'm filming this part of it, y'all, I do a lot of cooking on this grill. I hadn't done a lot of filming cooking on this grill because of figuring out how to operate it. All right, I just wanted to get my wood all cut up good right here. Get me some good splinters to start my fire. Now this seems like it has a little moisture in it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna get some of these little shavings right here. Now we're gonna do this. The reason I wanted to film doing this and split this all up is we're gonna use flint and steel here. Now I don't need that can right now. Sometimes I put my char cloth in there and strike my sparks into it to catch depending on which way works best for me. I've got some shavings. This is just some small fine wood shavings from that rasp when I was working on the bow. And then this is just some hay. So I made me a little bird nest right there. Now in this bucket, I've cleaned this out. I've got a few pieces already got out. This is just some charred wood. It's oak. And this fire kit right here, when my friend Don Lanier sent me them fish baits and stuff, he sent me this fire kit. And I have not gotten it out. It's got some jute, some char cloth. Pretty cool stuff in there, y'all. So I wanted to see if I could make fire with it here. Let's get our stuffed char cloth all in this and bird nest right here. Now, let's see if we can get us a fire going with flint and steel. All right, there we go. You see it smoldering right there? Get it over there, will you? Let me get down in the camera. You ain't gotta rush it. There we go, boys. We're gonna get this up in this far box and get these little wood shavings and stuff. I did want to take 2 of these sticks, kind of lay in here. Get all this going on. And you need your stuff when you get your fire ready to go. All right. Another thing that helps to have on hand up here, like when you're grilling, this is a bunch of shavings. Just a sack full of wood shavings. Y'all, I save everything now. Oh, we got all the wood right here. Now, if you're out in the wilderness, ideally, you want to have your stuff ready where you can set that under there and you ain't got to do nothing else. Inside this grill, a little bit different, but hey, we got fire by flint and steel. Make sure I get all of that in there where I got a good. Well, that ain't even gonna stick, is it? See that? That's a solid piece of oak, y'all. And that's a sharp axe. See? Well, let's get my fire kit put back together here. I'll keep it. Let me put the rock down under there. We're gonna shove that down like that. Nice. I need to put me a Spirit Outdoor sticker on the top, but if I have to use that for a tin to make char cloth, I don't want to do that. So, all right, in my pan, I got my dropped it. This is a shoulder. Now this is off the smaller one of the pigs. Okay, so what I do, and this is the way I do some Boston butts and different things, y'all. You want a good down in the bottom of that pan so that it don't stick. And that is just Italian dressing. This right here is old brother Dale. I usually pour this in a smaller jug, but now you can't use too much of it. Well, you can use too much, but I like a good bit of it, in other words. And this is picking and grilling. Y'all, I don't get crazy with my stuff. I don't change up by using all kind of exotic stuff. When you find something that works that you like, there's no reason to go changing things. So what I'll do is I'll get this covered up for right now and put it on there. I'm gonna set that on there. Okay. Now I got some ribs right here, and there's a fly right there. And this is a hatchet that I was just splitting wood with. But I do have my little bitty knife right here. I believe it'll work. No, it ain't gonna work. There we go. Now we can use our knife. Now what I like to do here, these are not gonna be quite as good as some baby back ribs. I did some baby back ribs the other day, and they were fine. They ain't as much meat on this little thing, but I wasn't gonna throw it away. They'll be good. These will be what we call snackers. I've been cutting up some firewood and stuff, y'all. Trying to get ready for the fall time of year. I've got some firewood down here that's been laying out. It was a tree that I cut up on just last year and burned it. And the lady's yard, the big trunk part is still there. And that is what you just see me trying to sink that hatchet into. It is some more solid. And that's why I'm so filthy. I need to go in there. When I get this all lit, I'm probably gonna go change shirts for the rest of this video. I just didn't want to nasty up another one while I was cutting wood, building a fire and whatnot. So I'm gonna get this right here coated good. All right. We'll open that up. You see that fire coming in hot right in that bottom right there. So I'm gonna put my ribs right up here over this fire coming in out of there. Put that down good. I can regulate my heat up there. But the way I regulate the air is right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and split that on up. Right here. That's why this stuff's here. Because I got my big pieces in there. Go ahead and split that. I think I'm gonna close that up. I don't want it to get too god awful hot. Y'all, we still got this meat on here cooking. And if you hear these dogs barking off out in the background, there's some neighborhood dogs that's not real well pleased with their accommodations for the night. So I don't know what's going on with them. They kind of wound up. But anyway, we cooking this, and it's been cooking for a while. And I done pulled my ribs off. I had company come up, and I went ahead and just, I cut them. But you see, they wasn't no whole lot to them. Hey, they was good ribs. But that wasn't really what I was trying to do. I still got this stuff in here in the pan cooking it. And we going on, I don't know what time it is right now, but it's been cooking for probably about 5 hours maybe. I think I put it on around 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere along in that neighborhood. And it's probably 9:30 now. But anyway, when I thought about when I first started cooking wild pigs, I asked a man around here, and it was cooked them pretty regular. I said, "How long does it take to cook one?" He said, "Well," he said, "it took me a 12-pack to cook this one." He said, "But I cooked one here not long ago. It took me an 18-pack to get it done." So I didn't know how long I needed to cook it. I just had to figure it out. Anyway, I've had it probably about 4 or 5 hours. Usually I figure if you keep it at around 300 degrees, you can cook it in 6 hours and it be falling off the bone. So I'm fixing to raise this up, and look, that wood is smoking up bad. It'd get all in your eyes. All right, now, let me find I got my little tongs right here. It ain't quite like just falling off the bone, so we're gonna let it cook just a little bit. Oh, I got y'all on a tripod, but I'll let you take a look if you can see in there good. It's still good. So I'm gonna try to get my lid back on there. But I have burnt quite a bit of this wood up doing it. That wood's dried good, and once the parts of it burn good, now that inside core burns a little longer, but I'll go cut me some more wood. I thought about old Marcel and them. They got hard back there one time, and they got out of work. You know, they hauled put wood all their life is all they knew how to do, and they got run out of work, and they was about to get bad broke. And told old Marcel, said, you need to go down there to the unemployment office and sign up and draw your unemployment. He said, oh, no, I can't do, I don't want to do that. He said, I don't want no handout. I want a job. He said, Marcel, that is for people like you. He said, you have worked and paid in, and that money is put aside for you to have till you can get a job. And he said, if nothing else, he said, you go down there and they'll help you find a job. You tell them what all you can do, and they know if there's openings. So Marcel, him, and B&D Lauder went down there. Old Ben went in, and they said, what's your occupation? And he said, I'm a pilot. They said, really? He said, well, Ben, said, we looking for people like you all the time. Said we can put you to work. Said we'll have you a job next week. Said no questions asked. Said we in bad need of pilots. He said, all right. And they signed his name up, signed up the paperwork. He come out the door grinning. Man told him, said, Marcel said, well, what'd they tell you? He said, man, said they have me to work next week. No big deal. Said they was looking for people like me. And Marcel went in there, and they said, what is your occupation? He said, I'm a pulpwood hauler. He said, oh, man. He said, I don't know. Said, you'll have to draw your check. Said, we got all the pulpwood haulers we need. Said, I'm sorry. Said, I can't. He said, well, I don't understand. He said, my buddy was just in here, and he said, y'all told him you'd have him to work in the next week. And he said, he can't work unless I work. And they said, oh, but said, he's a skilled occupation. Said, he's a pilot. And he said, yeah, he is a pilot. Said, and the best that I know. Said, he's as hard a worker as I ever known. Said, they ain't a better pilot in all this part of the country, but he can't work unless I work. Because I've got to cut up the pulpwood before he can pilot. So that's what I thought about when I saw them stumps up. I was cutting them in blocks. I was having to pile them in the back of the buggy. I'm a pilot. Oh, Lord. Y'all ever read this old book right here? Which this is in the Harvard Classic. It's a whole volume of books. But this is Don Quixote by Cervantes. Y'all, this hand here, he read a bunch of books and decided that he was going to go right all the wrongs in the world. And everything he goes after, his books done warped his mind. So he's done went in there, what I was reading a while ago, he went and attacked a windmill. He done attacked one group of fellows. He had threatened them real good. They whooped him with a stick. Oh, y'all had to read that. Now, it's wrote in that older English than the word, and it's wrote somewhat like a Bible. But it pretty entertaining read there. But anyway, we're gonna let this cook just a little while, and we're gonna get it back off of there.